Hello and welcome, and a very good morning to all the viewers. Taking an update with regards to global markets, if you see US stocks, they've closed at record high, and this was mainly following the cues that they've picked up from the European peers. From S&P 500 to almost Nasdaq and Dow Jones ended with gains of almost around 0.6% to 0.7%. And the dollar index that was at levels of almost 99 after hitting a low of 98.7 in intraday trade. In terms of sectors, you have technology as well as energy that were the best performing sectors in the US markets. Now, taking cues from your US as well as Europe, if you talk about Asian markets, a pretty mixed opening is what we've seen, and that's clearly trickling down to SGX Nifty as well. If you see in terms of Japanese markets, they have mostly opened lower. Talking about crude as well, it has been a good day of trade in terms of where crude is concerned. Oil has jumped almost the highest in almost 1 month, and if you see in terms of at the day's high, it was up almost around 3%. In fact, if you talk cues about oil companies as well, traders are eyeing deeper production cuts from OPEC. And taking this into consideration, what OPEC has come out and said is that they're expecting 2020 oil demand to be growing at almost 990,000 barrels per day, which is approximately around 230,000 barrels per day below the prior forecast. So that's something that we need to keep in focus. On the back of it, you have OMCs in the Indian markets also that will be in focus. Moving on in terms of where benchmark indices are concerned. Now, if you see in terms of Nifty as well, we are likely to remain bullish in the near term because if you see the open interest edition, that is seen at levels of 12,200 as well as 12,100 and 12,000 strike put, and if you see in terms of the call side at 12,300 to 12,400. So on the broad side, if you see, the range is seen between 12,100 to 12,400 as well. And today's opening, a flat note is what we are expecting. However, during the day, you could see some bit of steam that could be picking up as well. Clearly, on the flip side, if you go to see, Nifty could test around 12,300 to 12,370, and this is as long as it is able to sustain above the levels of 12,400. And clearly, we could probably see resistance at levels of around 12,270 to almost 12,320. But overall, the view remains pretty much positive in today's session in terms of Nifty. And clearly talking about Bank Nifty as well, immediate resistance could be seen at levels of around 31,640. However, a decisive close could, above this level could expect us to rise to levels of almost around 31,700 to almost 31,840. And immediate support on Bank Nifty is also seen at levels of around, say, 31,470. And the next level that we need to watch out for in terms of Bank Nifty would be around 31,320. Beyond this, if you see in terms of sectors, you have the IT sector as well that remains in focus because NASSCOM is seeing its IT sector revenue growth at almost around 7.7% in FY20. So along with the OMCs, you have the IT space that continues to remain in focus in today's day of trade. Moving on in terms of Q3 earnings, again, you had a strong set of numbers that were reported by IRCTC as well as Torrent Power and PI Industries. So expect a good up move on these counters. Again, a downtick that could be expected on companies like Ashok Leyland, Dish TV as well as Natco, and these will be mainly on the back of earnings reaction. Whereas you had Aarti Industries as well, which reported a pretty mixed set of numbers in today's day of trade. Moving from the earnings reaction, a couple of other counters that will be in focus will be Yes Bank. They've delayed their quarterly results, so let's see how that stock reacts in trade today. You have PI Industries as well, but the board has approved raising almost 2,000 odd crores via QIP. So there could be some bit of action coming in on that front. You have Relicare Enterprises, Allahabad Bank, BHEL, another one from the PSU space that will be in focus. They've signed a memorandum of understanding with a Russian company, in fact, so watch out for that counter in trade. You have Pricall, that could be a downtick on this counter. They've called off its JV with Pointer Telelocation, as well as an up move that could be expected on PNC Infra, as well as KNR Constructions. So these are a few of the stocks that one should be watching out for trade today. Good luck for the trading day. We will be back with the next news update pretty soon. Thanks for watching.